Hey guys, welcome back. So in this lecture, we're going to see how GraphQL works. To understand that part, we're going to do some demonstration, send or write some query and send the request and see how it's response. Okay. And for the demonstration, there is a lot of API, GraphQL API you'll find online to test it. Here is one of the Hazura.io. So this is the API. It's very helpful. It has not only the API, the different operation type, like we have seen, that's a query, mutation, subscription based, you can write the query over here, and this part you will see the response, how it's going to look like. So this is very helpful API that we're going to use in this demonstration as well as in our upcoming lecture. Um, you can go to their official website, or you can follow this URL. And then first times you have to subscribe them. Sorry, it's a registration. It's very simple. It's just a email address and create a password, and then you will be able to log in. So you can follow this link to have the access of this. Okay, and this the demo GraphQL API. And this is the post request, as GraphQL does all of the post requests. So this is their URL, for the post request. We're going to use this URL or the post URLs in our Postman and upcoming lecture when we're going to do some testing up there. But here we're going to understand how GraphQL query, different type of queries works, and how to write it, and how it shows the response. Okay. So this will give us a clear idea, the behind the scenes, how it works. Okay. So let's go for the query first. So query, here you can see there is a different, you can say that for the query, it has a user, and then the to-dos, there is a to-dos by PK. So those are the different element for the query. So you can see for this API, it is all about users, and then users to-do list, the to-do things, or creating the users. You will see all different. So as soon as you click on over here, online user or user, let's create a simple query. So you can, using this API, you can create a query over here. So just selecting the your targeted the elements you want. So if you click on user, so here I can just, let's take out these things. So user, okay. So you want to create a user. So, you want to fetch a data related to the user. So as soon as you click on user, and then you can user about what exactly you want to retrieve for user. So you can say user ID and the name. Okay, so simple user, from the user it will retrieve the data, ID and the name, okay, based on a user. Okay, so if you click on then play over here, you'll see the output over here. It's saying this error authentication hookup notes request. So there is some authentication. Okay, maybe just I have to refresh it. Let me just give me a second. Oh, I have to log in. So login back. So let's do it again. So user, you know what? I can just write. Let's see this, how we can write the query first. So to write a query, for GraphQL, so you will write query and then your curly braces, and then it's the inside the body. What would be the body? Body first would be the users, right? Users. Okay. So this is a users, and inside this is your first query. So you want to retrieve fetch data related with the user. Related with the user what? So I want to get data for user ID. So ID, and you can see this as soon as you put the element over here, the ID. So it comes automatically over here. And if you selected this one, so it means this field has been selected. And also you can see in the data model, they have the declaration for the ID. It's an ID, and you can see it's in string. The user.id is from the string format. Anyway, so next, and if I want to name, so select, type in name. Okay. So now let's click on. So I want to get the users information, fetch the data related to all the users with the based on ID and the name only. Click and play. So you can see, here we go. You can see up here all the users. It shows all the users. You can see id name. So okay, id name. So only it's retrieving what I exactly looking for. Now if I want to, if I want to make it more narrow down my data, so here's example over here. There is a to-dos. So to-dos I want to add. How about I want to some, let's do, now let's see this one. I can add some subsection. So example in a to-dos, so let's add to-dos, to-dos, dos dos. So to-dos, in the to-dos section you can see it has some subsection, subquery. So you can add some subquery. How to add? So to add a subquery, again make another subsection with the curly braces for the to-dos. For the to-dos, what do you want? I want to do say title. How about I want to show only the titles from the to-dos. Okay, so click on this query. Here we go. You can see on the right side, this is the response part. So it's resolving the data or returning the data. It's the users, and this is the ID name. It's the ID as per name. Then to-dos. From the to-dos, it doesn't have this user, this ID or this first user doesn't have any title. This one have some dot, and here is one of them have a title like test. Here is another one I found. Some of them have a title, some of them doesn't have, right? So here is all the data exactly the fashion I requested. I wrote the query. Okay, so now what if, so this is the very simple way, okay, to creating a query. What if I can, here is a lot of users over here. So what if I want to make some, not all of the users I don't want the data. I want like very specific, say example, show me only the 5 users data. Okay, 5 user data. That time we can make a limit our data. So users, so here it shows all the users. I can make a limit of my users. To do this, I can type over here. I can type over here limit, the limit. So limit colon then 5. Okay, limit colon 5, then hit enter. Here as you can see, this is the first user, this is the second user, this is the third, fourth, and this is the fifth. So it's giving me the some more specification, only that's based for the out of all the user, only the 5 users. Okay, so you can see I can write the query this way, or there is a limit option also. Okay, for the users, so users, there is a limit. You can see if you just, I can remove this part, and then if I just select there is an option called is a limit, so it will show you limit. Okay, like 10 5. So if I move it, update it to 5, so it is the limit of 5 users. Okay, limit of 5 users. So this is called parameter. So you are going to passing the parameter with your argument, with your query. So your query, this is a very generic without a limit, and with a specific, definitely specific data you're looking for, but you can make it more specific. You can limit your user. That time you can pass parameter. Okay, you can pass parameter. So here is the parameter. This is called parameter. Limit of 5. This is called passing parameter with your query when you create a query. Okay, this is the way you can create your query with a parameter. So next is that we can see that how we can create a passing, dynamic parameter. Dynamic parameter in that sense, it's so it is a fixed parameter, right? It's 5. So let's see, what if I want limit 5 over here, ID name to-dos. So to-dos here, let me add to-dos over here, ID also for the to-dos. So example, I want to add ID. From the to-dos, not only the title, but also I'm adding ID. So it will return me that's as it is, okay? To title and ID. And what if I want, so let me get the, instead of 10 of 5, I will make it 10. Okay, let me just play again. So I'm querying. So here is all of the 10 users, 10 users where their ID, name, as well as their to-dos based on all the title and ID. You can say title and ID, title and ID. Now, if I want to display or return my response based on the the descending order, like it means it's created. So here is those are the users being created right in the database. So some of them created maybe now, I mean it's they created some different time fashion. So some of them created earlier, some of them created later on. So what if I want to get out of this out of this 10 user from the descending order. So descending order, it means usually the over here, usually the user or entity being created, the latest one, it comes from the bottom. It comes from the bottom, like ID 47, or it's created after the 93. So like something like that. So I want to make it more narrow down, fetch my data based on descending order, based on creating descending order. So how can I do this? To do this, it means, and also over here, and it is also specifically for the ID in underneath the to-dos. So to do this, I can add more parameter over here. I can add more parameter here. Say example, I can say in that case, since I want to retrieve the data descending order, so we can say we can add order by. We can say order by. You can say order. So you can see there is an option also over here to do. So here is the order by. So you have to type exactly the same way their data model. So order underscore by, order by, and order by what? Order by colon, order by, I want to have the return data descending order based on what we have, based on created, the created date, based on created. So here, so this is order by, I can put over here order by. To add more sub parameter or argument, I have to pass like this here for order by. So order by, I'm not only adding the descending, I'm adding order by created. Where is the created at? So if you select created, so it will come created, and then it automatically shows ascending. You can put descending. Okay, so it will return order by descending order based on the created, right, created date. So let me run it. Now you can see it shows the data definitely different. The different order is used to be before, like without an order by. Now this is it's showing the data based on for the to-dos, there's a order by. Okay, this is the order by based on the created date. And if you want to make if you want to add more argument, you can do it. So argument, so out of this descending order, I want to make it limit not 10. Let's make it limit to 2 or 3. So let's make it, you can add over here limit of say 5. Okay, limit of 5. And then limit of 5. Why it's giving me error message? So limit by limit, let me see, limit. Okay, so I have a curly braces here, then comma, so to make it add another argument or parameter. Okay, comma, then limit. Okay, let me see, where is the to-dos here? If I want to add limit, okay, let me remove this. Let's see the query here. Limit, you can add the query like this. Okay, limit, say I want to make it 5, limit 5. Okay, so example like this. So play now it will show you not only the order by descending order, as well as based on the descending order, the top 5. So you can see the top 5. 1, you can see this is the 1, and then you will see 2, 3, 4, and it should be 5. Or this is the user forward. So this is the to-dos. So this is the one to-dos, right? ID. So to-dos ID. Then this is the another one, and this is the another one. So you will find this is here is top 5, or make it, you can make it less even. Okay, here is it. You find it, 2 of them, limit of 2, order by based on created. Oh, here is a out of 10. So let's make it 5 so that we can have it more. So total out of user 5, your to-do will show. So all the 5 will have an ID name, but it's from the to-do will show order by descending order, where it will show limit of 2. It means it's the top 2 will show. Okay, here you can see, okay, as a descending order. So this is the way you can not only write a query. So you can write a query, you can say query, you can add the query, the keyword at the beginning. So it is then you will understand this is the query type of operation, right? And then this is the way you can pass the parameter, and then you can pass a dynamic parameter. This is called dynamic parameter. Not only just a static parameter like a limit of 5, but also your parameter, you can make it dynamic, like make it order descending, ascending order. Those are. So this is the way you can create your query and make it dynamic parameter, pass the dynamic parameter. Okay. And similarly, you can pass dynamically your argument. You can pass argument with a variable. You will see there is an option over here, variable. So let me go through. Okay, let me show another way that how we can create a query and passing argument dynamically through a variable. There is an option over here. There is a variable. You can create a variable, and then for this variable, you can assign the value to variable, so that your here is like a static, very static, like your limit is 5 is 5. So what if I don't want to make it a static? Sometimes I want a limit of user 5, sometimes I want a limit of user 10. So that time it's better if I just declare one variable over here and then assign the value. There is option, and I can change the values, and in that case variables comes to the picture. Okay, you can declare a variable and then you can assign the value to the variable, and that value will be reflect on your query. So let's remove this again. Let me create another query. So let's for the user simple query. Okay, for the user, and then I will say ID name. Okay, ID name, right? Nothing else. So let me run it, and now I want to out of all the user example, I want to make it limit to the user, say 5. Okay, so to do this I can the pass either a limit like this directly. This where is the limit? I can add a limit like this, or I can declare a variable other than fix a value over here. So to declare a variable, you will say here limit. This is like a variable. This is your the type of the variable. So limit, and then it's a section of the section is like a limit, and the type of the variable is limit. And then to declare variable, you are going to say hold on, it's better, you are going to say before that even you have to write over here, say I'm going to query, and then here you're going to declare a variable. So declare a variable. Let's remove this part now. Declare a variable here. To declare a variable, you have to use the $sign and the name of the variable. What's the name? Example, the variable name is limit. Okay, limit. And what type of variable is going to be assigned, what type of data you're going to assign, you have to declare over here too. Like other languages, right? So when you declare a variable, you have to set the data type. So here is a variable, and here is I'm declaring the data type is going to be assigned to the variable. So it is integer, int, and then after that you have to add the semicolon. So this is the way limit, and then this is the type of the variable, and then now here this variable is going to be assigned where is going to be applied to the user, right? So I can add over here the variable. You can just copy this. You can just copy this variable. Copy here. This is the variable. Okay, lim tm is the t. Okay, and then it's this variable type. It's what type? It's a limit type variable. Okay, it's a limit. Okay, I hope that is clear. So here is the declaration of the variable, and here where this variable will be assigned, what what argument, and where this variable, what element is going to be applied. It will apply to the user. So again, this call this variable, and this variable type is limit, right? So because it's a limit, it's a specific type of data over here. Okay, now this is very generic. Okay, and now it doesn't have, this limit variable doesn't have any value. So to assign the value to the variable, the query variables, this part comes to the picture. Okay, how can I do this? So to do this, I can say, here, and then you call the limit. So you call the limit variable, right? The limit variable, call the limit variable. To call the limit variable, here you have to put in double quote and put the limit variable, and after that colon, and puts the number, whatever you want to assign, say 5. Okay, so limit variable value is now assigned to the 5. So it means this 5 will assign to the over here, and which is the limit value is 5. So this 5 will apply to the users. So 5 users out of all the users will show, supposed to return an ID and name. Okay, let me click on there. Here we go. You can see 1 user, 2 user, 3 user, 4 user, 5 user. Okay, so this is the way you can use even query variable in a GraphQL. I hope that it's clear. Okay, so in our next lecture, in similar way, you can use mutation operation. So it is also query. Also, you can use subscription, which is give you the the live alert and the notification, all those things. So query is the most part, the query operation is the most part that we're going to use as a automation developer tester. That's why I'm showing this one. You can see there is an order by we have seen. You can add where, those are some more filter, right? You can add more filter, like order by was the filter example for filter. Where you can add where, then you can put some condition, which is the filter. Okay, so in our next lecture, we're going to see how we can test, use those query and using this API in our Postman, and how we can test those. Thank you.